Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Railway Empire 2. It's been a very long day for me to adjust things in this game. I have no idea how long I've exactly been playing right now, but my estimate, well, let's say 14 hours in total. And I went from deep high in the 20 million to 800,000, 800k. So spending a lot. What have I been doing? Well, the eastern parts was done in the previous episode, but I have been adding all cargo trains for this eastern part, minus, now see, small bit, but that's not really important. Or better said, it is important. No, that's passenger train, I think so. No, really need to. I have been setting up the train route from Paris in the eastern part. I have been adjusting the entire western part of France, including setting up the trains even in the south. And by the time I had La Rochelle done, I ran out of cash. So the only thing I did eventually is setting up a second route from Paris, Caen, Rennes, Brest, Nantes, Tours, Orléans, and that's it. So what needs to be done once I do have the money is a route from Nantes, La Rochelle, Limoges, Clermont-Ferrand, Lyon, and all the supply for those. So with that done, I also think it's time to actually do something, which means we have currently TGV d'Est, TGV d'Est Postal, the mail train, TGV d'Ouest, and of course the Thalys and the Thalys mail, but those are the old ones. So what I'm going to do right now is take this one, which is, if the route loads up, starting in Paris, going to Auxerre, Dijon, Nancy, Strasbourg, Luxembourg, and Reims, which also means it is a counterclockwise. Let's add that, passenger counterclockwise. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to ride a train today. 398. Well, I think the 400 will be hit. We got an error. I don't. Please don't. I was making a joke. Would be very terrible if the game decides to crash right now because I had a 404. It's more likely that the game simply needs to catch up. GPU, CPU need to catch up. Everything needs to be done right now. Lots of calculations, and I already see some of my cash moving. So that's good news. The bad news is that I have been removing all, that means absolutely all of the AI trains right now. Reason for that, she was using rockets, turbines, and a few, not even all, but a few G&M Americans. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. There we are. Flying along. No, not yet. So we're going to ride along today. I'm pretty certain that the first part, especially the first part, will be lots of passengers because it's the old routes we already have. So I think that's the mail train. So we've got an 8-track passenger station here. And that causes problems. Look at this. It's busy right now. But that too causes problems because I had to split the route for Paris, going to the northeast, going to the east, and the trains need to go circular, so go back and all that. It's quite ahead of us. That's the one going to the west, which also will head to Orléans eventually. And the other one we had is the mail train. Okay. So I had to figure out how to get it done. This shows best, especially because I had a problem with the cargo trains. In my other game, I was having so many problems that those two basically had 8 tracks going in both directions and still didn't work out well. I think looking at this, everything went quite well because I have 6 tracks coming here from those two and 2 tracks here. So all in all, my 6 passenger tracks also got 6 platforms, and I got 2 spare platforms for everything coming in from the east, although I probably will not be using that. So with all that in mind, yeah, things were going well. Very well, actually. But then I got more experience, of course, with this game after all this time. That's making things easier as well. So, Auxerre is leaving, Orléans is leaving, if I'm not mistaken. We can take the same. No, I don't think so. I think we're going straight ahead. We are. So, 6 track. It's actually funny, I always have said don't use the 6 and 8 track grid arrays. What am I doing? Exactly that. I guess there's always an exception to the rule. For the upcoming episodes, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ride along on the routes, the new ones, at least if they're circular, clock or counterclockwise, is linear in both directions. And with less than 3 years, no, slightly more than 2 years to go, I also think that it will be fun to see what's going on in the next year. But in general, I don't think I'm going to expand more into other areas right now. So we're going to ride along, unlock industries, get new trade routes up and going for the industries and ride along those trades. That's my general plan right now. Things can change, but it will be interesting enough, I think. And we can enjoy all the landscapes at various times of the year. It's also nice. By the way, everybody who knows French language or even is French, this spelling error is not my fault. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use the apostrophe. So I was doing another version, which actually was the EE, but that didn't feel natural either, so I decided to do it like this, gare d'Auxerre, without apostrophe, yeah, meaning is still okay. Going to do maintenance here. I think I had a lot of things on here, so I'm a little bit confused about why we don't see any. It's also possible that everything just starts up because it had been paused, although we did lose a little bit of time. At some point the game paused when I was doing all the reorganizing. Because, yeah, got kittens and they love to step on the desk. More precise, they love to step on your keyboard. Yes, and this was actually the only city I was able to reach from Paris before eliminated my competition. It sort of shows because it's quite big already. It's flying, but more because of everything I did in the past. No, it's not that big. Worst city is actually Orion. That's absolutely bit terrible. I think when I unpaused the game, we had 4,000 people living in that city. So it would be a very nice challenge to get it up to 45,000 to start with, and eventually even better, 100 or maximum. We'll see. There are a few factors that currently are beyond my control. It may take some time, but once I'm able to get to 50,000 and build a library, city growth will be somewhat easier. So Simon Terminal, that's our first. What's his name? Maintenance station. Things aren't actually going very fast right now. Mail train is already gone, so that's going well indeed. Maintenance of the diesel. So the first thing we're doing is actually move to the east and a little bit to the southeast, or turning north and be on the eastern part of France. Dijon, indeed. That Rennes Sass, back to Rennes, which is Champagne and eventually Paris. Hopefully this train will actually speed up so we get express status again. So far, not much. One of the things I did, which may actually be a little bit troublesome, is trying to keep the tracks with AI as we put down, laying down. And that also may cause some problem because not all tracks were set for 75 or higher kilometers an hour train. Lots of curves and all of that. It may also be a reason why the train isn't actually catching up to speed. Also here another train, but at least there's a cargo train moving here. bit disappointed by the speed. Sure. Like I said, part of the tracks I'm using were done by dump boards, so as soon as my tracks are coming into play, the train is going to speed up. So look at that bridge. I don't think it's healthy to drive that part with any vehicle. Walking, yeah, helps parts, and I think there's a slightly bit of a bug over there. That the bridge should actually be over there. So, next city, Nancy. There's a train moving from here, by the way, to Geneva, starting at another direction. And I think we just saw passing. Version of it. So we have up there cargo route. That's a supply train. That's a supply train. Can't focus on the other one. These things are speeding up right now. Otherwise as well. This gives me the front end to complete the last part. The routes and everything else will be needed. Because I need to do a counterclockwise on this one. I need to do the supply route. Get some of the other ones counterclockwise version. Plenty of work. also set up as a terminal station, basically because of what the lady had done. That's the mail. The only ones that aren't are the supply trains. $17 million. Well, I'm curious about that. 24 freight, 21 passengers, 19 mail, minus 4 million production. Yeah, that makes sense. That will improve. Staff cost went up not that much actually. $22 million. Yeah, but we had in this quarter a lot of shares, a little bit of shares. So first quarter of 48 will even be better. Look at this, 30 million track construction, 13 million in locomotives, 8 in construction of buildings, and 2 million in breweries. That's everything. I've been building and adjusting and everything else. Freight, passengers, those numbers will increase because it's mainly done by company pre-merger. So we'll see what's going to happen. That's nice, that's going up. No more competition. 10 million of shares. 10 million stock value for one share. Company value 1,127,880,000. Ooh. In 18 years time. That's not bad at all. 98 cities connected. Let's see if I can make that 100 at some point. Going up because of everything I did. So yeah, big gap because of buying everything. But things will be moving. Moving stop. Maintenance. So I used the 4-track redirect. Mistaken, this part once again had some of her tracks. First we need to raise it. possible that we still have problems with speeds from I had some problems with laying down the tracks as well. As if I wasn't able to lay down tracks even when something was gone. Maybe because I demolished it and added the polished. Chemin de fer Suisse. That's the train doing some trips along the Swiss cities. It's one we're going to do in the next episode, I think. Plenty to watch in the upcoming episodes. So the next Strasbourg over there. I think first things we're going to do is playing water. No, yet. I was expecting that to happen. Then we're moving from Alsace-Lorraine to country Luxembourg and its capital. Basically, we're leaving France right now. Well, not yet, but the destination is outside of France. Which also means that after this station we'll be getting Naples. Still curious about when we will get the resupply on water, oil, sand. Thanks, bit. Am I already there? Are we there yet? Going to get a bit more busy part of the trek, that's for sure. We weren't there yet. Drain the cloth. Wait a minute. Salt. Hang on. That's changed. It used to be big cars. So somewhere in the patch, or when the DLC was released, cars had become smaller. Small ones. Eventually we would go back to the bigger ones. And cloth. Eventually we're going back to the bigger cars. But that's aiming at the time, and I think it will be 1860 or 1870 when that's going to happen. Basically, we're driving through French province. They call it Département d'Ardennes. Face in the clouds. Mouth and nose. One eye, one eye. We're in Luxembourg. 51%. It will refill after 50, below 50, so that explains why we didn't fill up the water yet. Carol terminal maintenance done. That's it's then. Something I forgot to check. Well, I can still do it because there's maintenance going on. Something I forgot to check. This is one of the arrows. What? Ready? Hang on, something not right here. Okay, okay. But minor error from the developers. Luxembourg in 1848 was actually Dutch and not Belgium. I was showing the wrong flag. We're also off to Ram, so it won't be long. It's going to be a somewhat shorter episode, I think. Well, I've been supporting you folks listening to our episodes in the past week, so we hope you forgive me. It's a shorter one this time. Show off the two, what the main, what the champagne. And yes, that's the area where that bubble drinking comes from. It's the bubble beverage. I'm going to Nice view. Very nice view here. Then we've got the city in the distance. Everything is quite flat. Some hills go on the right, some mountains go on the left. There are 210 passengers in Paris. It's quite a lot. Although I think some of them may actually be traveling to some of the other cities I have connected. This train got a very good. Paid some attention when I was building this one. That's a all loaded here. Here's a train. To Lille. Rodeur is milk. So it's going to pick up one milk. That's not exactly what I had in mind. Never mind that. Off we go. See if we're able to catch up on that train because it's heading in the same direction. Just losing another station. Acceleration of that train is better. My overall speed, this one, is better. So, I think so. That's based on the fact that the other train's already out of sight. Nope, because here's where the track splits. These French flags should where it should. Farming is going very well. So like I said, I set up, let me see, there it is, very well. I've been setting up train for the Swiss part. And basically it's visiting a part of France too. But I think it's seeing the time we have left. Might as well go on with this one. Just need to check something. Yeah, I thought so. I need to edit. Basically giving away the way we are going right now. Also need to do something over here, but oh. J. Where's good J? And there. Schmidt. So that's one of the things I noticed about AI. It has built warehouse and hotel about each and every station. Now it's going to increase. There we go. Increase in distance. Because I've added some stations, like the other ones will be messed up a little bit. Should do this mail trains of this part. One, two, three, four, five, six. Things will be messed up a little bit right now, I'm afraid. That's because of the added maintenance stations. So likely we will have increasing distance messages a couple of times. It's also likely trains were going back and forth. This one won't, because I think it's fairly easy earlier. But everything after will probably have a problem because route numbering is shifted. Once again, medium speed. But there is more traffic on the tracks, which is also nice. Since the area is having being more hilly and mountainous, we also have more snow. So much better winter landscape, which is also good. That may be the reason of that traffic jam. First train with the woods, the logs may have been resupplying here. Let's see how many people. Only 35. There we go, increasing distance. There's the mail train coming in. 40. It's funny. So it's still loading passengers even when it's increasing distance. Where's the other one? Number 4. Where the big one is. No idea what it is waiting for. Now we're going. Okay. Still possible we will get another increase in distance after this stop. But first the maintenance. Like I said, that maintenance is going to mess up a lot. At least the first round. There's the maintenance stop. Won't be fast actually. So let's have a check on the other ones. Increasing distance. The number 1 is ahead of us. That maintenance. See, that's why. That's why we had to wait. So number 1 is after Dijon. Of log finally. There we go, decreasing distance, I knew it. Lately we have the same thing again in Munster. this one certainly will have express text. Like I said, and the mail train. No, it's the other one. There we go. There is indeed a certain distance between the trains required. But since number one isn't stopping for an increasing distance, the thing is to slow it down like that. So number three is waiting for number two, number four is waiting for number three, when eventually everything will be spread out evenly. And the less we get a breakdown, things will run smoothly. You're doing 71 an hour for a change. It's nice. So it is possible with this train. Not just the visual of that mountain in the background, but also the way things were going with the planes. Resupply. Surprise me. No resupply. It's waiting for him. No, me. That's a cargo train. So moving back to the Alps again. Entering Switzerland, another border. Which also means we can once again enjoy that weird bridge ahead of us. Though easy distance. This one is loaded. Okay. We're already off. That's fast. Yeah, absolutely nice view like this. Although, there's a fifth track and sixth track right there. So I guess never mind. something went wrong when I was deconstructing, or better said, reconstructing everything. Part of this is done by Baby Ward AI. Like I said, they mess up big time. So everything won't take that long. There's the other one. There's a cargo tray with no problem. So that's the one we have to wait for. So I don't like the name Lido Geneva. It should be Geneva. There's the mail train. Yeah, things are looking quite good actually. Lake Geneva. Tracks we have here going to the right are actually heading for some resources. Now look at this. Those mountains. This is also one of the problems I had to deal with. The station is set at a point. You see we're going down, then we're going up. The station was at a higher point, and it's the lowest point. Over here, so I had quite a hard time to get everything right. first flag is in place. As you can, like I said, on the other hand, because of the setting, you get tracks not at the same level, which is also not nice. And did anyone notice that the time that we have to wait for the increased distance is getting shorter now? Which means that the interval between trains is actually getting to the point where it's almost balanced. Well, at least in the next private parts, I had enough money to set up all the other routes I wanted to do, to upgrade the industries we have and all that. Because money's coming in fast right now. Yeah, it's absolutely a glitch because you see the people crossing the street floating and then all of a sudden they enter the bridge and move over there. That's number 3. No, number 4. Wait a minute, where's number 3? Ahead of us. Weird. Well, that's 3. 4 just passed us. So, yeah, they have been having a problem with the direction because of the maintenance stops I added. So 1 and 2 are doing the right thing. 3 and 4 not yet. We will do that over time. So what's the tale? Well, not much actually. Then it's getting late again, which people are noticing it. Actually see by the clock. Each station has a working clock connected to the computer clock. It's up to you to decide if that's the morning or the evening time. That's something I will have to look at later. Don't think there will be too many problems. So I'm losing passengers. Because I'm positive we had 40. And you can't see it from here, but we have that big swamp area on our left. Just won't be able to see it. I was positive, very positive. We had 48 passengers. Right now it's 32. So somewhere we've lost passengers. Maybe because of the distance. Distance increasing maybe. Possibly a reason for it. But I think it's simply the distance the trains are traveling, that the route they're taking is longer as twice the distance as a straight line is. Which in a way is making sense considering the terrain. Yes, we have a warehouse here. 4017. Already 30 million. 62 income. 3 million. Almost 3 million break. Almost a million passengers. Mail will remain the same. Production is still negative. It's more negative. Staff cost went up. Makes sense with all the trains and stations we got. Maintenance went up. Fuel went a little bit up. Miscellaneous 37. I don't know what that one is. So 27 expenses and 38 previous. But the 38 was 30,000, so 25. So we did 35 million. So on the building construction. $134 breakdowns. That's not good. $11.7 million share value. Yeah, that keeps going up now. That's going down. This is all my reconstruction. Ooh. This one went up fast. I mean, up here, company value 1.13 billion. Look at it now. 1.19. So that was the big dip with merger and everything, and look how it's going. That's what that is. November 27th. That was the highest peak, and then it was going down. Stations, lines, trains. These are everything I removed from her. The old trains from her stock, and these are everything I replaced. And that's so very important. That one is okay. The 30 factories. Almost 14. Yeah, I need to get the factories checked out. These were her trains. Bang. Well, with 45 million, it's quite easy to check on industries and all of that, so. Upgrade industries. And the good news is, yes, true, that my priority, however, is adjusting, or not adjusting, adding more plane routes to make sure that everything's covered twice, clockwise, counterclockwise, or simply ABC, BA route. things I do with stronger trains. Well, 1850 is the moment to unlock new trains and everything. But 2 years to save the money for that, new trains and new industries. But there's plenty to be done. Still the same number, okay. Well, Strasbourg is growing. Nancy is growing. Zurich is growing. Luxembourg, Reims, Dijon. Everything is growing right now, which is good, because that means more passengers needed to be transported and also more cargo needed to be delivered. Which in turn means lots of industries needed to be upgrading. Okay. Is that enough? I don't think so. Well, no, absolutely not. Zurich and Geneva, that's the only two. I guess I have to play on the Swiss map if I want to do that. Or maybe you will. depending at how long this map is going to take. Well, I better say it. I want to play this map up to the end of the time. Well, I don't know how long that is going to take. Oaks growing, all young growing, tour growing, all young growing. That's nice. So which ones are running without cargo? Non-supply. Okay, that's the refrigerated movement. Yeah, making sense. Non-supply and non-supply. I thought so. So the free trains which are actually doing the refrigerated stuff, which isn't needed in Nantes yet. Although the vegetables and the milk are unlocked, and it won't be long before we get the fruits. So yeah, not too far future, there those free trains will actually start moving goods, apples, veggies, and milk from somewhere. Probably here. Anyway, what I'm going to do is, well, you probably guessed it, close it down for today. Next week we'll be riding along this route and probably going down here as well to Lyon and back. We'll see. I will set up some more routes in the upcoming week, and there's enough to enjoy. Hopefully we're able to make it to 1850 next week, because that will bring a lot of nice stuff, starting with a new freight train. Several improvements for trains. So this is a mixed one, which may actually 70, 57, 73, maintenance 52, reliability 111. So I can even step back a little bit if I want to. 1850 will be a very nice moment. We have that to start with. We have steel and we have tools. That's for sure. So I hope I'm able to make that in the next episode. Close to. For now, thanks for watching everybody, and I do hope you've been enjoying the riding along. Next week, like I said, we're going to do another route. Once again, starting in Paris. This time going a different way. And hopefully getting to 8050. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next week. Have a good week, everybody. Goodbye.